I think writing a bio is so weird. I hate it so much. It is so much pressure on a writer to be like, hey, can you basically show us your writing skill, but also convince us that you're like a cool person or whatever, or skilled writer, or this, that, and the other, all in like one or two paragraphs. I hate it. I hate bios so much. But here's the thing I will say about bios, and I think it's my same philosophy for writing in general, which is don't overthink it. I think oftentimes we're like, oh, well, no one wants to read this. And the funniest part is that if you actually said that out loud to someone, whatever weird story that might be, that's probably the thing that people would want to hear and hear from you and want to learn more about. So I think look into your life and find pivotal moments, pivotal people who've inspired you. In my bio, I write about my mom and my stepdad, how they were very pivotal in my life. And when I really started exploring my parents and how they impacted me in their lives, I realized, oh, this is a comedy in itself. Like just like my parents and how they met and where I grew up and what have you. And that became part of my bio. But I think oftentimes writers will be quick to edit themselves before they even put it out into the world to test it. So they'll be like, "Oh, well, no one wants to read this. No one wants to learn about this maybe comedic or painful part of my life, but that's ultimately what gets people to connect to you is that vulnerability. So I think be vulnerable, lean into the weird. What's weird about your life? What sets you apart from other writers? What is the experience that you have that probably few others have? That is the thing I think you should have in your bio.
I'm glad you like it. I think I'm terrible at writing bios personally. I think here's one thing, and I don't mean to throw shade to any writers because writing bios is very hard. I think when you get a little too precious and poetic with it, like I want my words to like bring wings to the people who read it and inspire them to fly. I'm like, do you really? Is that is that your modus operandi? I think a little humor goes a long way. A little poking fun at yourself a little bit while still putting your best foot forward. This is what I do. This is what I love. But I'm also, kind of a dingus. So that's that's where I come from. Yeah, I reference IKEA a lot in my bio because um, my income work, because I'm not killing it as a screenwriter yet, is to go to people's houses and assemble furniture for them. So that's just where I that's just where I live right now. You'd think it would be a little bit more fun than it is. There have been some great stories, but people are a lot more boring than you would imagine when they invite you in their house. I'm dying for the day when someone is just like, I don't know, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Maybe today.